Hi, welcome to my latest video. Well, on this one, I'm going to be starting a new computer build. Actually, a computer that'll be a server. It'll go into my rack. And I think if you looked at one of my earlier videos about how I'm going to be changing my rack, you'll actually see a place for it, a 2U case that I have here, and I'll show you in a minute, where this PC is going to be built in and where it'll be running from. It is meant to be an actual VM server. I'm not sure what software I'm going to load on it at this point. Maybe Proxmox, most likely probably, or it could be VMware, ESXi, okay? We'll see how it goes. I have a license for ESXi, the latest version, so I might go with that again since I have used it quite a bit. But again, I haven't fully decided that yet. Well, let me show you in this part one, what's gonna go into it, okay? It's always good to start with a motherboard. In this case, I got a mini micro, the 9-inch by 9-inch size board that has, in this case, it could have 4 PCIe slots, but this motherboard only has 3. It has an X16, an X1, and an X4, okay? And it's from ASUS. I like ASUS. Some people that know me know why. I like the BIOS, and I like setting up the BIOS, and I'm very familiar with it. So even from one motherboard to another, it doesn't cause me any problem. Well, this particular one is a B760 motherboard. I have an M and a dash A, but that's just modifications to the types of options that'll be available on it. Then the reason I picked this one is this uses DDR5. Now you may say that's crazy these days, right? But it just so happens I had a spare set of DDR5. They're not super fast. They're only 5200, but I have 64 megabytes of this memory, okay? And that's a lot. And for this server, I'd like to have that because it is going to be a VM-based server. And having the extra memory helps a lot, really. And it's not going to be slow. I mean, at this speed, even if it only gets up to, after memory sizing and such, and I don't know yet, if it only gets up to 5,000, that's still good, okay? But I think it's quoted for 5,200 at this point. So we got that, and it's DDR5, like I said. Another thing I already had in stock, which is another thing that saves me and what allows me to do this build, is a Western Digital Black M2 NVMe drive, 2 terabytes. So that'll be the main operating system that'll be running on the system, with most of the storage here. I'll probably section it a little bit for the VMs, okay? Then I also got a video card. Now, am I going to use it? But I'm not sure, but I got a good price on this off-brand 3050 low-profile video card. In fact, let me open this one up and take a look at it, just to show people what it looks like. It's a little bit unusual. It has 4 HMDR video connectors. I'm not going to use 4. May use 2, but it's meant for having all those multiple screens up. But, you know, it's not super powered. 3050 is a little bit less than I would have liked, but I got this at a good price, believe me. So that's why I picked this one. Then I got Noctua fans. The cooler itself that'll go on the CPU, it's a low profile 4700 series chips, which is what the processor is in this case, and I'll show you in a moment. So it's a low profile, that way it'll fit in a nice 2U cabinet, in this case very nicely. I also got a couple of 80 millimeter Noctua fans that'll go in the back part and replace the full speed fans that this case came with, okay? So I got 2 of these, okay? And the CPU itself, I had went a little bit lower end than I wanted to, but I was trying to keep the cost down. And this one is a 12th gen i5 from Intel. Okay. This motherboard is an Intel motherboard. I could even put an i9 in there if I wanted to, but I'm thinking this won't be in there that long. I'll be upgrading it to probably an i7, maybe an i9, but that's not likely. More likely than i7. I think there's a couple of different flavors of the i7 for the Intel 1700 as well, or 12th generation. Just so happens that I have another motherboard. I won't show it here because I'm going to see if I can get it returned. If I can't, then when I change the processor out on this one to the next higher one, then I'll have this processor available. Now that's a DDR4 motherboard. And that's the main reason I went and bought a new one, because I suddenly found that DDR5 memory. If I stuck with the DDR4, I only have At most, I can get 32 gig by putting 4 sticks in there of DDR4. Because I do have some of that DDR4, but nothing that's high density. I mean, actually, DDR5 is the ones that give you the high density, right? After all, that's one of the main advantages of it. So I have that motherboard, in my stock, and I may use it for a future build. Probably won't be another rack-mounted one. I only need one of these. But I may upgrade maybe even my wife's computer, which has a case that will support this size motherboard. In addition to that, I have a power supply that I bought. It's a small form factor, 750 watt, and it's platinum. Okay, got a good price on this one. That'll reduce the weight that'll go into this and provide the power that I need. Of course, I had to get the adapter to convert from the non-small form factor to the small form factor in order to fit that into a case that's meant for a full-size type power supply. But that's no big deal. Then finally, the last piece that I'll put in, and that'll be for storage of the VMs or whatever, probably the VMs. I got and this was in stock. I didn't buy this. It was in my personal stock. I had bought it to an upgrade something, and I never did. That particular PC didn't need that extra storage. It's a 6 terabyte Seagate, and it's not a drive that you could use for a NAS. It's meant for standard use, not NAS use, okay? It just has a different firmware in it is all it does. So it's never been opened, and why not? I have room in here for 2 hard drives, and I'll show you something in the case. I've made a modification to the case already, okay? So with that, let me show you the case. Put this off to the side here. The case is a 2U rack mountable case, okay? If I take the top off, I can show you what it looks like inside. Standard, it has a USB 3 dual connector to it that can go to the motherboard. And with this cable here, it has this, I'll run into the same issue. I probably will not, like I'm doing with my NAS, I probably will not connect the power switch and the reset switch. I'll probably disconnect those, or if I can put a cover around this, which is possible, then I'll do that instead. Not sure. It has a standard thing, the disk access and the power on LEDs. But I also have, and hopefully I'll be able to do this, I also have another option to this. Since that motherboard supports a high performance USB-C connector for the case, well, this case doesn't have that connector, so I bought one of these that I used before in another PC. I'll have to machine, just like I did with the NAS, I'll have to machine it so that I can connect this and have it accessible to the front of the 2U case. But we'll see how that goes. Haven't fully decided that yet. But what I did decide is, since I'm putting a hard drive in here, I redid the hard drive holder. It had a metal holder that can hold 3 drives. I will never put 3 drives in here. And having 3 in there would actually make it generate too much heat, first of all, and also too much vibration. So I made this with a 3D printer to fit exactly in the spot where the metal one was, okay? And only hold 2 drives. Now, I'll probably never put 2 drives into it, but you never know. So I have a spare section to put another hard drive in here in the future. But by being made out of ABS plastic, my 3D printer, it can handle the vibration a lot better, okay? And the ABS can handle the temperature. So, and I've made it so that there's many avenues for air to get in there and keep those drives or drive cool, okay? Here are the 2 fans, the 80 millimeters that came with it. They use Molex connectors because they only run at high speed. So those are being replaced by the ones I already showed from Nachua. So those are the pieces that'll go into this. I guess what I'll do next is I'll probably do the case modification. I have to think about that a little bit more. It doesn't have as much room as the NAS did in the front to do it easily. So yeah, that's an iffy. I may not be able to get it in there. I also would like to potentially consider expanding this. It only has 2 fans on this one side over here, right? There's a filter there. There's an air vent over here. I may want to retrofit another 80 millimeter Nachua fan in here and put a filter in there as well, because that way I'll have all of the air, hot air, going out the back, okay? Combination of the vents that are out there and the unused PCIe slots. Now those are the traditional things that I'm doing, but I'm trying something new with this one. I have a numerous number of 10 gig cards, and I'll probably make a video about this separately. that are X8 cards. They're old IBM cards that were in servers at one point, and I bought them, I think, through eBay originally. And then some of the newer ones I bought, they're all X4. So they need a slot that's X4. X8, X4, they're pretty close. Although an X8 winds up using an X16 slot most of the time, so I don't use those anymore at all. I think my old server, which will be my backup server, it only has one PCIe card in it and one PCIe slot, which is an X16, and I have one of those 10 gig X8 cards stuck into that one. Well, I'm going to try a new thing. I went and got this card, which is an X1, but 10 gig. The requirement, though, is that it has to go into a PCIe 4 slot. Guess what this motherboard has? All PCIe 4 slots to it. Another reason to buy the new replacement motherboard to the one I originally bought, the MSI one that I was going to use instead with DDR4 memory, because in the MSI one, it had X1 and X4 and X16 slots, but the X1 slots were not version 4, they were version 3. So this way, we'll try something new. I'm going to test this, of course, first before it goes into there, because guess what? I went and purchased another test bench. Now this one's meant for smaller motherboards, and which is okay. This 9x9 or even smaller, an ITX might be usable here too. It has room for the power supply. It has room for all the slots that we need for. I believe it might do a full ATX motherboard itself based upon the placement of these adapters, but we'll see. At least this will help me because I got all my other test benches filled. And I'll be able to use this to build this whole system on first, to test it out, and then once it works, then it'll go into this smaller case. Okay? I also took this and not just built it, but I adapted, just like I did on one of my other test benches, this 3D printed front panel, where you have the power switch, the reset switch, and the two LEDs for power and hard disk access. So it's something now, I've already got the template for it, so I just have to modify it slightly now whenever I want to do something like this. So you're going to see that first. Anyway, that's where this is going. Let me go ahead and think up how I'm going to, or how I'm not going to, modify this 2U cabinet in order to put in the USB-C cable connector. So that's my next step. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video about that or not, but I may make a short video for it, okay? So with that, I thank you for watching and stay tuned for part 2.